any better this time. Alright, YouTube. Alright. Oh, does that look a lot better? That looks a whole lot better. Alright. Alright. I think it's good to go now. Alright. So, after that, it's time to get into this thing. And, yeah. Certainly looks a lot better now. That was a bit frustrating, but good to have it hopefully fixed. So, yeah, this is building the UCS tie interceptor, part 2, and I guess attempt 2 of this stream. So, which I didn't want that uploading to cause any issues, so I just deleted that one right away, so that one won't be seeing the light of day anytime soon. Yeah, I'm enjoying the set so far, and yeah, so should be good. Certainly looks a lot better there now. All right. Wrong way. So, I'm expecting this to be about a 2-hour stream or so. Technically a couple more bags than the first one, but a couple of them are, well, there's no more stickers anymore, and those definitely took a bit longer to do, just with how they were placed, so should be a lot quicker now going through this. And just like the first part, seems like quite a few small bags, just a few parts each, so that shouldn't be too long. After skipping a few steps, it's time to get back on track with this thing. Ton of the parts here are sort of just all over the place, and I guess that's the intent of it, is just to capture a bit of detailing around it, but it's definitely a bit interesting. How just all over the place it sort of feels. It's probably going to look cool, but definitely while building it feels a bit all over the place. Alright, seems like it's looking alright. I don't want to challenge it and go try to open stuff up, so if I start trying to go over some of the Star Wars stuff for August, I'll definitely just have to remember the stuff more from memory than actually looking at the stuff, because I definitely don't want to screw around with it. It seemed to sort of mess it up yesterday, but I think I realized what the issue was that was causing the thing to be such an issue. But I guess this is the middle section of the wing. Now, how does this attach in there? Need to figure out how this is put together. Oh, that's why. I see. Oh, wonderful. I think have I? I can't quite tell if I've really messed this up or not. Let me see. Alright, I have a feeling maybe if I can. Alright, yeah, that's it. That will solve the issue right there. Ooh. Alright, that will be the solution to the issue. Pretty simple one. That didn't require too much deconstruction. Perfect. Alright. Alright, that's about right, I think. There's so much of it that's sort of just all over the place. It's not entirely clear. Alright, yeah. It definitely good. Because it looks good to me, but good to hear that it looks alright. I had a video that I thought it was had been uploaded or was uploading and had finished that process, but I guess it wasn't, and it was still in the process of uploading, so I realized that was probably slowing it down, so I just deleted that, and I'll do that another time, but for now I stopped that, and I think that's what was causing the issue. So yeah. Alright, that looks alright. Perfect. Alright, and that is just about... No, I didn't think it was. I really wasn't too sure what it was, but I never thought that it was going to be a a video uploading because I thought I had finished that. I had scheduled, I think, 4, 5, or 6 things this morning, and I thought that process was all done, but it turns out it wasn't, and there's still one doing its thing, so I'll try that another time, and yeah. Alright. First section of this wing is done. How does that clip on? So this, now with this part of it, it's 11 bags in, which is exactly the halfway point with the number of bags. Yeah, yesterday I ended on finishing up the stand, and now it's the wings. Yeah, actually I just got this this particular one on Tuesday, I think it would have been. So my original May 1st order got delivered to the wrong address, and it just never showed up, and I got a second set of it. Lego sent me another one, and I got that, and then I found a note on my door that the person who it got originally delivered to, I guess about 2 months ago, had it, and I went to pick it up. So now I have this one, a sealed tie interceptor, 2 of the promos, but the biggest thing, the poster that was given out during that time that I didn't think I was ever really going to get, since it got lost, but now I have it, and I need to get a frame for it now this weekend. So yeah, that was eventful, and happy to have it. Yeah, yeah, it was, it's, I guess, nice to have a sealed one, just sitting around now, and, yeah, it was quite the day. I had a bunch of packages delivered that day, a bunch of custom Star Wars figures that I'd ordered, and some books, and it was a very busy package day, and yeah. Yeah, I definitely thought it was gone, since it's been a couple months, but nice to have it, and I definitely didn't expect it. At the point, I pretty much had just forgot about it. Actually sort of did think about it, funny enough, that day when I actually got it. It just sort of, I had a thought of it, but yeah. So I got double the promos, double the sets, and I got some extra VIP points out of it too, that they gave me for trying to make up for the lost poster. So that was sold out at the time, so it was, wasn't even all that far away from me, and I still have no idea how they dropped it off at the wrong place, but yeah, happy to have it now, and it's a fun build so far. sort of just like Baradur a couple weeks ago. It's all one color pretty much, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get a friend set or something to build on stream to get some color back into, or at least multiple colors back into building Lego, because the last few I've done have all been all just one color. I was sort of surprised that they had you build the stand as early as it did in the set, but yeah, got the cool TIE Fighter pilot minifigure out of it, and yeah, that's quite the nice figure. What do you think of the all the Star Wars stuff? Because since the last stream, pretty much got all of it at this point, and I think everything actually, with the I don't know. Let me see. Lego UCS TIE Interceptor. I think it was less than 2,000. Let's see. Oh wow, it's actually closer than I thought it was. 1,931. So pretty much right on the dot there. With 2,000. Yeah, I thought it was honestly in the low. Oh goodness me, why is it all blurry? Oh good. No, that's not good. Doesn't look too bad. I have a feeling it was opening up that, I don't know what's going on with it recently, but yesterday and today, in a moment, I seem to open up a new tab. It goes all wonky. Okay, good. It's back to normal there again. Good to see. Alright. Just won't be opening up any new tabs for this stream because it seems to like to go all wonky when that happens. But yeah. Yeah, it's I think it was 300 Canadian, but I guess technically it was free for me because I got two of them and a couple promos out of it. So if anything, I got a lot more value. But yeah, it was 300 Canadian, I think. So I think that's about the same as they've been. The UCS sets have been the last little while. All right, on to the next one. Bag 13, doing the this side. Alright, on to the next one. I guess this is going to end up being pretty repetitive by the end of it, since it seems like, well, it will be symmetrical on each side, so by the end of it, it will be quite a repetitive build, but the middle section wasn't wasn't the most fun thing to do because the entire interior of it is pretty much stickers, which I'm not opposed to stickers really in any way, but the ones that they had in there were all on triangular pieces and at sort of weird angles. They weren't the easiest things to put on, not just like rectangular stickers, but one step set with quite a few stickers that I'm excited to put together is that Battle of Peridia set in August, which I think I'll be ordering August 1st. I don't think I'll be going to the Lego store then, but I'll definitely put in an order for a few things, and yeah. Yeah, it seems like it's all just gonna clip right onto the bottoms and the tops there, so I think it's pretty solid. I don't think there were any issues with stability for this one. I know the X-Wing, the UCS X-Wing had a bit of a stability problem last year, but I think this one, I think the only issue it seemed to me that people had was with gaps around there, and also at the back side of it. But I think for stability, I think it's pretty much fine. I'm sure if I picked it up, because I think it does show you on the instructions how you're supposed to pick up the thing, so I'm sure if I picked it up like the way it tells you not to do it, it'd probably break, but I think if it's held up by the stand, it should be alright, and that's why I'm assuming they made you put the stand together so quick or so early, is just not have you build the wings sort of on the table and then move it up onto the stand afterwards, and I'm sure it's just saving some hassle from later on in the build. But yeah, it's coming together nicely. Of course, I did sort of like putting together Barad-dûr, because at every couple bags there was a really nice new figure. But yeah, I was just looking at the prices of some of the minifigures in that set, and they're about, like, I feel like you add up all the figures in the set and they're getting pretty close to the actual price of the set. So it's and especially if you got the promo, like that Nazgul, there's only I think like 4 of them on Bricklink, so it's not the biggest judge of price, and it's pretty small sample size, but they're all into the 150, 200. I think I saw someone trying to charge $400 for it, which you can get a sealed promo for less than that. But yeah, the whole thing seems quite expensive. And I also saw a one other thing for June, the thing they have at a few Lego stores. I haven't been to one that has them, but the minifigure design thing that some of them have. There seemed to be a little bit of a print for Lord of the Rings for that event. I hadn't seen it before, so it was interesting. I came upon it yesterday when I was looking at a few different minifigures. But I just got a couple more minifigures to add to that set the same day I got this one. I got a few new orcs to add to it, and I'm starting to really fill up the set with the amount of orcs I have running around it, and I'm hoping at some point that the ones that came with the set drop enough that I can get a few of them, because still they're a bit too much, but yeah, If they drop a little bit more, because they seem to be dropping a bit, I'll definitely get a few more of those orcs, because I really liked the look of the ones in that set. And yeah. Yeah. Like the whole, pretty much every single one of them is an expensive minifigure, and I guess it's nice knowing that I've got a collection of minifigures that's worth a pretty stupid amount of money, but yeah. There's still a few that I want to get that I don't have, and I just got one or two a couple days ago that I didn't have, so some nice additions. But with new minifigures coming out, I'm really excited to get some of the summer Star Wars ones, especially the Ahsoka ones, and I quite like that Desert Skiff set. There's something about it, I really like it, and I really like the figures in it, and I don't think I'll be getting that one release day. It's just a bit much for that, especially since I feel like about every single set in the summer wave is going to be on sale in a few months. But yeah, should some cool sets releasing in August, but definitely I feel like nothing that I'm that excited for, which is a bit disappointing. But hopefully next year for Star Wars is a bit better than this year. I think if you take away the 25th anniversary minifigures, this year isn't all that great, and sort of disappointing, but I'm interested to see what comes of next year. Which I wouldn't be shocked to hear some information of soon. Yeah, the sail barge or the Sarlacc pit, it definitely feels a bit expensive for what you get in it, but I feel like all the minifigures to me feel like they're very good quality versions of the characters, and the builds itself feel like good quality builds that are going to pair great with the UCS set. Like they feel to me like UCS quality builds. But the set is definitely way too expensive. Like I think it's $100 Canadian, which just feels way too expensive for what you're getting in the set. The Battle of Peridia set doesn't feel as bad to me. I know that one's also had a bit of people upset with the price, thinking that one's too expensive, but I don't think that one's all that bad. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm honestly excited to see that sail barge, and which is weird because I just spent, I don't know, probably like 10 or 20 minutes a few streams ago saying how much I don't like stuff from Tatooine, and now I really want that Sarlacc and sail barge, but I don't know about the sail barge. Might be a bit too big, and I'm sort of, after having that Barad-dûr set, I think I'm done for my really big sets for a little while. I should probably slow down on them. Yeah, I think in the last few years, there's definitely been a decent amount that are too expensive for what you get. One thing with that sail barge, I pretty much liked everything I saw in it, except I saw a review of it yesterday, and it seems to me like the 9 Numb minifigure, the special figure in the set, has like a really bad printed torso. it's printed on a black piece with the red, and just like Fox from last year, that's, of course, it was different color combination, but it's gonna still, it looks really poor, which is sort of disappointing. Yeah. I don't have that Endor speeder chase, but I definitely want to get it at some point. Endor is definitely something I want more of in LEGO, so. But I need to sit down and look, make my list of things that I want to get for August 1st. Yeah, I think that set has enough value that I think it's just as well to just buy the whole set, but I definitely do want that Thrawn. It looks pretty great. I love that they added dual molded legs to him. I think that's a huge improvement, yeah, that's definitely probably the thing I feel like I'm most excited for from the entire summer wave. But overall, I just, like, I don't really care about the X-Wing and TIE Fighter. The Dark Falcon, also don't really care about that. I like the Sarlacc pit. It's just way too expensive, but I do actually really quite like that. The Peridia set, I think, has great figures, and honestly, like, a solid build, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I'm totally shocked by how much I like Jedi Bob's Starfighter. I honestly couldn't really care less about the set when I heard about it. Like, I thought it was sort of cool and interesting, but I would have rather just throw Jedi Bob in a May 4th promo or something like that than make a whole set slot towards him. But the build itself, I don't know what it is about the thing, but I quite like it. Oh yeah, that's yeah, that's definitely a set, the speeder chase, that you for sure need to get on sale at regular price. It's just not worth it. But yeah, I'd love just I hope that next year the big October set is a Master Builder Series Endor. That would be wonderful to see. And also just put some playset Endor sets in there and make a whole thing out of it. Like, that's definitely something I would love to see next year, is just a bunch of Endor stuff. But I guess that's probably not the most popular opinion out there, with everyone wanting, or at least a very vocal minority, or I don't know, majority probably, wanting all Revenge of the Sith stuff. But I definitely want it too, but I think there's a limit to it. And I hope that people aren't getting their hopes too high for Revenge of the Sith, because I'm not all that confident that there's going to be all that much of it. Yeah. I just finished reading the Thrawn, the first Thrawn book, so I really do quite want the Thrawn figure. I remember seeing the set, whatever year it came out, the one with the Phantom, from 2018 or 17, and I remember always seeing it in stores, and I hadn't watched Rebels at the time and really had no interest in the set, and now I do wish I got it, but I have pretty much, except for Thrawn, all the figures, and I have been looking at maybe buying the set, because the Phantom itself is quite nice. But And there's then also that skeleton crew ship, which looks alright. I don't think I'll buy it. I definitely sort of considered it when I was thinking about it yesterday, but thinking about it now, I realize I don't really need a Star Wars ship I don't care about, and so I think overall, like my Star Wars purchases, I was pretty much buying most of the stuff that came out this year. And then when it comes to this summer wave, I don't think I'm gonna really be getting much at all, except for that Battle of Peridia set. And yeah, it's sort of disappointing, really, in the end. Let's see. Get in there. All right, there it goes. Perfect. All right. So the one that it was Heir to the Empire, and I really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, I did enjoy Ahsoka quite a bit. Like, I think if you enjoy Rebels, I think you'll enjoy Ahsoka a lot more. But yeah, I quite enjoyed Heir to the Empire. Um, it was probably the most I've ever liked Luke Skywalker as a character. And then Thrawn, even though it's his own book, he honestly doesn't really show up that much in it. But when he does show up, it's pretty great. And yeah, I definitely want to read the next few. But currently, I just started yesterday, and today got pretty far into it actually. The first or the prequel Padme book, Queen's Peril. So yeah. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to go grab that at some point. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and but I definitely enjoyed the first Thrawn book, and I don't know what I'm gonna do after I finish the 3 Padme books, because I honestly think I'm gonna have those done pretty quick. They're not the longest. They're like 300 pages each, and they're pretty easy to read and get through. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna move on to the next Thrawn book. I was also looking at, I think the Count Dooku one was also one. I believe the Thrawn, Heir to the Empire, I think, is Legends, and then the newest Thrawn books by Timothy Zahn are canon. I believe the Padme ones are canon. They're pretty new, but I'm pretty sure the first 3 Thrawn books are Legends, and then at least I believe that's the case. Yeah, I think that was big, because I think Ahsoka definitely at points to me felt very much like it was a live action Rebels season 5, and yeah. Yeah, I think watching Rebels and knowing the characters was pretty huge to Ahsoka, but that with all the young Ahsoka flashbacks and having Anakin in there, that was very exciting. But I think I'm really excited to see Andor season 2. That is one that I really am very much excited for. Also, sort of cautiously optimistic on. I'm definitely not getting my hopes up. I hope it's good, but I also, yeah, I watched that a couple of days ago, and yeah, that was interesting to see, um, but yeah, um, it was cool seeing seeing the scene I just hadn't seen in Star Wars before. So I feel like I don't know where that was from, because I definitely went through all the prequels deleted scenes I thought, and I guess I hadn't. But yeah, it's one Star Wars show I haven't seen. I haven't seen anything from the Acolyte. I haven't had really any time to sit down and watch it, and really have no overall interest in seeing it. But I definitely should probably watch it at some point. But character design wise, they look pretty cool, and I wouldn't mind some cool minifigures from it. But yeah. Am I doing this all right? Yeah, I think so. I'm really excited for next year for Star Wars. I think I'm hoping for some Revenge of the Sith stuff that's not necessarily clone based. Then if I do want some clone stuff, I definitely would want it from the Bad Batch, I think. And I'd love some Tales of the Empire and Tales of the Jedi sets. I think that's my top thing that I'd like sets from. I'm hoping that there's nothing from Andor, because I don't know what it is. I love the show, but I don't think merchandise from it is overly needed. It's just, I think it's as good as it gets. But yeah. I'm excited to hear when the rumors come out what there is. Of course, I guess the first thing that will come out will be the January and February and March stuff, which, if it's anything like the last couple years, will be pretty small in comparison to everything else. Oh, that's why. You're supposed to put a gap in there. Acolyte Rebels or Andor's. Yeah, the Andor is definitely, I feel like, the least Star Warsy of any Star Wars thing, and I think it's just a good show. But Rebels is definitely, like, as it goes on, it gets a lot better. At the start, it definitely feels like very much a kids show, like very targeted towards children. And then as it goes on, it definitely is a lot less of that. But yeah, I think by the end of Rebels, it became one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars. And yeah, the Clone Wars was pretty cool. I guess the Clone Wars was my first sort of big introduction, I guess, the Star Wars and the Clone Wars movie and the prequels. So those are always going to be pretty special to me, more in those characters in him, more than some of the original trilogy characters. But yeah, I'm interested to watch The Acolyte, and I don't know, it definitely didn't really interest me when I saw anything from it, but I'm also not overly interested in seeing the Skeleton Crew, which I think is supposed to be later in the year. Yeah. I'm excited to see what the next animated show is, because I feel like that's been sort of my favorite stuff the last couple years of Star Wars. And then I think it's the movie. I don't know which one's first. I think it's the Grogu and Mandalorian one, and then the Rey and the Jedi Order one, whatever that one's about. I don't know really who thought that was all that great of an idea after how those movies were received, but I'll keep an open mind and watch those and hopefully enjoy them. But I am excited to see a movie, and hopefully it means a full movie wave of sets. It's been a little bit. Yeah, Luke just I think, well, by Return of the Jedi, I think I enjoy Luke a lot more, but like I can't stand A New Hope Luke. That's why I sort of dislike the movie as much as I do. I like it, but it's definitely not my favorite Star Wars movie, and part of that definitely has to do with Luke. Luke in the Thrawn books is, like, for a decent amount of the time, he is sort of captured, and he's on a planet where there's really no force, so you sort of see him navigating his way through that. And there's just something about him in the book that I found a lot more interesting, and I really actually quite enjoyed Luke Skywalker as a character, and I really had never. From my understanding, the next two Star Wars movies are The Mandalorian and Grogu, and the Rey movie with her starting a Jedi Order or something along those lines. But maybe in a few weeks a bit more gets known about it with San Diego Comic-Con, I think it is. I'm sure that will maybe reveal a bit of stuff from what's going on. Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a surprise that they would be making a movie after the not so successful of that. Yeah, I've really enjoyed the Padme, the first Padme book. I really wasn't. Of course, Padme is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, so in that I was probably going to like it. But I've really enjoyed it, and I think it really makes me appreciate the Phantom Menace a bit more. And I'm sure that I'm gonna finish reading those, and then I'm definitely going to rewatch the prequels, and I think I'll have a bigger just appreciation for the prequels along with Padme. But yeah, I've really enjoyed the Thrawn book, this one, and then I don't know what I'm gonna move on to after I finish those. But I'm definitely looking at, I think there's Count Dooku one in there that I wanted to read, and of course the rest of the Thrawn books, which I think is I'm gonna continue with the Legends ones and then move on to the canon ones after that. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a lot more in the book to Padme, and I don't know, it's very interesting to me see her become the Queen of Naboo, and also just see more of Naboo, and yeah, I thought it was really quite interesting, and I think I'm about a third of the way through the book, and I think I'll probably get to a bit more of it later today and probably get past the halfway point of it, and then I'll be on to the next one, which I'm not 100% sure where it takes place in the timeline. I think from the cover of it, it's definitely around Attack of the Clones and Geonosis. And then I think the last one is Revenge of the Sith, which will be interesting to see her in that role. And yeah, I honestly, I would love them to adapt the first book into a short show. Like, I honestly think it's really interesting, and I think it would be actually quite an interesting Star Wars series. And if I was gonna like adapt anything, I definitely wouldn't mind seeing that. But yeah, that Tales of the Jedi episode was quite nice, and I feel like, oh, there was also a Tarkin book that I think I saw recently when I was at the bookstore. Because I had to order these Padme books, 'cause I just couldn't find them anywhere around me. And while I was looking for them, I think I saw a Tarkin book that seemed like it would be an interesting read, and it seemed like a really short one. But I know there's also like the High Republic more recent ones, and okay, I'm gonna do a couple things here before I finish this, because okay, there we go. I see where I decided not to place the pieces that it was telling me to do. Simple fix though. This is quite the large wing. Yeah, perfect. All right, all doing well now. All right. Oh, Plagueis sounds interesting. I should look into that one. That sounds definitely really interesting to me. Yeah. For Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, I don't, of course it makes sense. It's around Phantom Menace, but I was really surprised this morning when I was reading the book and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan showed up in it, and I was really surprised. It almost felt like a cameo in a movie or show, and I was completely shocked by it, and I didn't expect it. Like, Obi-Wan's name popped up on the page, and it was just, I really was not ready for that one. This thing's getting bigger and bigger. Alright, on to the next one. I really now, after reading some of these books, just want to subline a Lego sets based on Star Wars books. Like, there's some so cool characters that I would love to see in a set, and yeah. I'm really disappointed now that one of the 25th anniversary minifigures wasn't Mara Jade. I really want a figure now, after reading the first Thrawn book. And yeah. When I think of the character, all I think of is George Lucas pushing the guy out of the office after saying the name. But yeah. I'm excited to see the sail barge. But it really was like a cameo. I was just reading along the thing, and it moves on to the next page, and the page starts with Obi-Wan. And it was truly felt like a cameo. It was, and I have no idea, they're gonna appear again, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna go into the attack on Naboo, but it's really, when those two appeared, it totally felt like it was a cameo, and it was a bit weird. I've never really had that in a book before, but it definitely felt like it. I don't think my favorite character is Padme. Padme's definitely in, like, my top 10 characters, probably. But I will say that reading this book, she is moving up the list quite rapidly. And if I continue to like it as much as I'm currently liking it, she will find her way higher on my list. But I would definitely have characters like Rex, Anakin, Han Solo would be there. But I think my favorite Jedi is probably either Qui-Gon or Plo Koon, probably. I mean, there's something about Plo Koon. I think he's just one of the kindest characters in Star Wars, and how he treats different characters. I really think, when I think of a Jedi, I feel like a character like Plo Koon just embodies to me what probably a Jedi should be, and yeah, that he's probably my favorite. But there's definitely a few others. But yeah, Padme is definitely pretty high on the list, and she's slowly moving up. But actually, not really slowly, quite rapidly, actually. I think actually Darth Maul is probably my favorite Star Wars character, or Kanan Jarrus from Rebels. The more I think about it, the more different characters I think of, but I'll probably change. I truly don't have like a concrete answer for who my favorite Star Wars character is. I have just sort of a list of a bunch that I really like. But yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. And I think Qui-Gon definitely treated things a lot better, and just he wasn't too afraid of going out of what was sort of mandated by the Jedi, and I quite like him, and I guess that was rubbed off on him by Dooku, and it all makes sense, and then that gets rubbed off onto Obi-Wan and then Anakin, and it just all trickles down. But yeah, I quite like Qui-Gon. And I really liked that Tales of the Jedi episode with Dooku. I thought that was quite interesting. So next Friday's stream, I think, will be the Icons McLaren MP4. I think is what I'll be building then. I also am working on a build for a convention that I might even do a stream for. But yeah, Plo Koon was pretty great. But currently I will be trying to do a stream every Friday. I happened to be able to do one yesterday. It was sort of not really planned. I didn't think of doing it for the week, and then it just sort of happened. Especially because I was honest, I was planning on doing the McLaren for this week, and then it sort of all changed when when I got this thing again, because I didn't, I really wasn't planning on cracking open the sealed one I don't know when I was going to do it at some point, but definitely not around now, but I don't know, I have a few. But yeah, it should mostly be Fridays, unless this just shows up, like something like this happens. Yeah. I need to look a bit forward to see what I'm going to build, but I know what next week's will be, and maybe after that I'll do a stream just working on that build that I'm working on, and then by then should be pretty close, I think, to the August sets, so probably should have a stream when those show up, which might definitely sort of affect the time of a stream, depending on what day those show up. But because I don't even know when. Is it a Monday or a Tuesday? When is August 1st? Oh, a Thursday. Okay. Didn't think it was that late in the week. I thought it was earlier than that. All right. Thursday then. But I'm definitely hoping to find some of the Speed Champion stuff early. Because I found it early every release this year for Speed Champions I have been able to find early, so hopefully this one as well. It's getting to the end of this thing now, even though, well, I guess there's almost done this wing, and then it's on to the other side. No, I can. I'm working on Geonosis for a convention in November. So yeah, that's what I'm currently working on, and I think I talked a bit about it yesterday, but not too much. I need to rework this thing a little bit, I think. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Oh, I see. Wonderful. Okay, that's great. Oh, great. Wonderful. Just oh, all right. This is a mess. I put the thing a stud down from where it should be, and now everything's sort of messed up. Wonderful. Just great. All right, that's all right. So am I? Huh. I might actually not be wrong. Oh yeah, okay, it is. Maybe. Let's see if I can do this without pretty much taking apart the entire thing. Yeah, okay. Time to rework this thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just redo it. It's completely messed up. Might as well just, this actually is fine. It's more the rest of the thing that's all messed up. All right. It was going good. Now it's not. Shouldn't be too difficult to do this, but shouldn't. Okay, let me get this thing. There we go. There's quite a few of them. Every single stream, I couldn't go a stream without doing one. It wouldn't be a proper stream without a nice mistake added onto it. Now, was this the issue? I think this was the issue the whole time. I don't even know if I had to take that whole thing apart. I think I might have figured it out, and I think it might have been the wrong size piece, and I think that might have been the issue. But we'll see. All right. Well, hopefully it'll be all right this time. Okay. Take this out. Flip this over. And make sure this all lines up. Okay, it looks all right this time. I think this is on the right track, so it should be all right. Wonder what it will be for next week. At least that's a smaller thing, so less chances of it, but will probably still happen. Wheels put in the wrong spot will be probably the issue next week. It went all fine yesterday with this middle section, but And there's still 2 wings to go. Still a lot of chances. Oh, oopsies. Alright, this was the issue. Nothing was lining up all too good. See if it's better now. Should be. I'm hoping it is. Falling apart, are we? That's nice. Alright, everything's looking a lot more lined up this time. I think it's alright. Hopefully. Might not be, but hopefully it is. Alright, that's good. I had to go back into a different bag to fix that issue. Now, the true test, if I actually did it right, is connecting this a little bit. Alright, that fits in there alright. And now, there we go. Alright, it's right this time, perfect. No more issues. I think it's gonna be all right now. Just got 2 wings to get through after this one, but I guess this one's not finished left yet, so it's got still a few more chances to do some stuff, but not gonna miss this step this time. Oh, great. Goodness me, what's wrong with you now? I spoke too soon. Not a big one, but an issue nonetheless. Alright, good, that fits alright. That one was definitely much smaller of an issue than the first one was. Instead of having to take apart the whole wing and put it back together. Looks like it'll be good this time. Probably shouldn't say anything though. You want to be nice and just go, okay, good, that's good. And that. Oh, yeah, alright, well, the structure of the wing's missing a piece. But it's not affecting anything necessarily, just only partially. Okay, wonderful. Turns out, didn't quite do it right. Oh goodness me, this is quite something, isn't it? All right, that's a very easy fix, but I'm gonna be happy to get past this wing. Might as well break the whole thing while I'm at it. All right, come up. Good. Okay, there we go. Now, after multiple attempts, it seems as if this thing is sturdy and ready to go on. Turns out it's here and not the other one. He's going like that? I think so. Alright. And this. Okay. Let me go grab that bag that fell, because I'm going to need that one. 4 left. Alright, after that one. Okay. I must say, this isn't the most exciting build in the world, especially when you get to these last few bags. It is just how many? Just counting the wings, my goodness. 4 of these wing pieces all in a row, pretty much all identical. Alright, same steps as last time, just this time with the hope of Hope of not messing it up. That was the issue last time. Not doing that again. There we go. Really trying to find any way to mess this thing up. Looks like I got... So all it was last time was one thing that messed up the entire thing. Oh great, that's gonna do it again. But it looks like it shouldn't say anything yet though. Still got a lot of time left in this thing. Alright, how long has this been going? Hour and 20 minutes. Alright. That's not too bad at all, is it? I thought it was going to be a little bit longer, but seems like a bit of pace here to finish this thing off. And definitely enjoying it. I don't think the build is the most fun thing out there, because it is quite repetitive. But it's it looks good, so that's nice. At least it looks good. Yeah. I've got 3 bags left, and just about to finish this one. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna finish this today. Just the top bits of it, and then it's done. Yeah, it's coming together. It's this is definitely a lot more repetitive than Barad-dûr ever was. Like, that was a lot less repetitive. There were like a few wall sections that were sort of similar, but each one had sort of its own unique characteristics. A lot of this one, especially these last couple parts, is just so symmetrical that it is it's very much a very repetitive build. Yeah, I definitely agree. I like ships. Like, the Ghost was one of my favorites from last year. Yeah, I like location sets, which is why I would say I really like that Battle of Peridia set, because I think it's a decent location build, but it's also Yavin from, was it last year? I think it was. Maybe it wasn't, but I'm pretty sure it was. I really enjoyed Yavin. I know that's not like the most popular opinion. I think a lot of people weren't that keen on it, but I I really enjoyed that set, and I like location sets. But yeah, like every ship build in Star Wars is pretty much gray or black, except for the Ahsoka wave where it got really colorful, and I would say that's decently boring. Like everything does look very much the same. But I think in these UCS ones, they're definitely the best versions of them usually that you can get, and I enjoy them, especially these smaller ones. I'm not that big on the bigger UCS sets. They take up so much space, and I'd much rather a location like Barad-dûr than a big ship, which is why I like the Master Builder series sets so much, even though I'm not all that fussy when it comes to what should we call it? Mos Eisley. That's definitely not one that I like that much. Yeah, figures are always definitely a big draw, and the Yavin figures were pretty nice. I liked quite a few of them. I think one of the sets that I'm quite excited to see later this year is that celebration, the 25th anniversary celebration set with that last 25th anniversary minifigure, R2 KT, which I think has like 3 stormtroopers, 3 rebel troopers, and I guess the build of something. I have no idea what that's gonna end up looking like, but I'm sort of excited for that set, especially because I'm assuming that it will be some sort of small location set, which should be fun. Yeah. I'm hoping, I feel like this Summer Wave in particular for Star Wars is very much ship based. Like there is not really all that much in the way of, or really anything when it comes to a large playset, which is sort of disappointing. So I hope that changes next year, because I think there's some really cool options out there, whether they do anniversary stuff or do some stuff that they just have never done before, or go back and repeat some stuff like Endor or other interesting locations. I wouldn't mind a new smaller Cloud City playset around the size of, or in the price range of Yavin. But I guess we did just somewhat recently get that the Master Builder Series 1, so it's probably too soon on that one, but yeah, location-based sets to me are definitely always highlights in compared to these. And I am really excited to see if there's anything for Lord of the Rings next year. Yeah. I'm ready to just move on to next year when it comes to LEGO Star Wars. After having a bit of a disappointing 2024. This wing really came together quite quickly. And unlike the last one, at least so far, it doesn't have any mistakes. But I won't count it out yet, because there's still a lot of pieces left to go. This wing's a bit interesting. It has different parts than the last side. We'll see how that goes. It's slightly different. So I guess it's not 100% symmetrical, but it's pretty darn close. Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with that at all. I I actually um one of the videos sort of like that Lord of the Rings one that I did, um, which that one in particular that got all of the people a bit riled up. Like that one was definitely pretty much 100% a joke, but I did kind of want to make one that wasn't a joke, and it was pretty much, yeah, just that. I think they should reduce the amount of sets they make and make better quality sets. And I think for Lego Star Wars right now, I would much prefer quality over quantity, and I think right now it is sort of quantity uh, over quality is sort of what it feels right now. Um, so yeah, I totally agree with that, and it's something I've definitely thought of recently. But I guess with how well the theme does, it probably doesn't make any sense to do that. But if this, I wouldn't be shocked if this wave doesn't sell all that well, especially with the prices for it. Um, yeah, yeah. The it's good that the UCS one's retiring this year, or else having that many on shelves that like a long period of time would have been pretty ridiculous. But yeah, when August comes around, having three R2 base sets all at the same time is pretty ridiculous. No, I do like the one that released this year, um, the uh, the 25th anniversary one, especially with how well it pairs with the C3PO. I don't know what it is about that C3PO, but I really like it, and I'm honestly very tempted to buy it. Pinch my finger between that thing. Um, but yeah, it totally with that's a bit ridiculous with R2, having that many buildable R2D2s out at the same time is a bit much. But yeah, I I'm interested to see what comes of next year, um, and I hope people aren't too disappointed when a bunch of Revenge of the Sith sets don't get made, because don't think that's gonna really happen. But maybe it does, and people are pleased. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what comes of next year, and I'm definitely hoping that the small UCS set for next year is Revenge of the Sith. Like I'd love a little set with the two Jedi interceptors. Like that would be a really cool one, or one of their interceptors and a droid um, bomber of some sort. And yeah, I'm excited, and I don't know what it is, but I also wouldn't necessarily mind a one little set for the Force Awakens. Like a Force Awakens battle pack or something with some First Order stormtroopers. Honestly, I don't think would be that bad of a set, and would be sort of interesting to see. And that is that when it comes to one wing. Yeah. I think like Ray's speeder or a first order stormtrooper battle pack, like something cheap. Like don't put your eggs all in one basket and make some big $150 set, but like a small little set tying into a movie that the first Disney Star Wars movie that's 10 years old. You know, I don't think it's terrible. Yeah, clones. Like I think next year, if they're gonna make Revenge of the Sith stuff, it needs to be like actual Revenge of the Sith stuff and not just clone sets disguised as disguised as Revenge of the Sith sets. Like actually proper Revenge of the Sith stuff that is not just clone sets. Like some Kashyyyk stuff would be really cool. Coruscant, some build of that. Even I guess the duel on Mustafar, Palpatine's Rest. There's a lot of cool stuff that isn't clone stuff, and I hope that happens next year. I'm sort of I wouldn't be shocked if pretty much all that comes out of it is like a diorama of either Palpatine's Rest or the Duel on Mustafar, maybe a UCS set, a MIDI scale vendor, and a Brickheads pack. That's what I'm sort of guessing is going to be made. That would be my assumption. Like, I don't think there's any way that the movie gets more than 4 sets. And even then, that feels like it's pushing it a little bit. But I'm hopeful for next year that it will be good and there will be some cool sets, some interesting sets, and some new stuff. But I guess for new stuff, this year does have a lot of it. Not necessarily the best of it, but definitely some new stuff. I am really sure that I'm going to drop a piece down there, and I'm going to poke my eye out when I go down to pick it up from that thing. So I should push that back a little bit. I enjoyed them. I liked the Brickheads. I liked the Droideka, even though I don't have it. And I like the Padres diorama. I thought that was all right. Yeah, overall I liked the stuff this year. For the Phantom Menace, like I would have liked some other stuff. Like, of course, if they made Queen Amidala's throne as an 18+ set, I am in line, the first person, hours before the store opens and getting that thing. So none of that happened. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that there was no Padme minifigure included in any sets this year. I think it's egregious. Just absolutely egregious. Hello. Welcome to the stream of finishing this thing off. It's actually right in the last few steps, so, or not last few, last couple bags. Yeah. I'm ready to stage a riot down and head to Denmark and stage a riot. If Padme doesn't get a minifigure next year, I'm already getting my tickets booked and ready to go. And yeah, ready with the pitchforks to get more Padme minifigures made. It's just ridiculous. I really like that Darth Maul, the original UCS head one. I quite like that set. There's something about it that it's always been one of my favorite Star Wars sets. All right, got two ready for the riot for Padme. Just about done this one. It actually, I think it's right. I don't think it's wrong this time, which is wonderful. Nice to not have built the wings wrong, but there's still a chance. But it's about to be the last bag of this set. All right, final one. Let's get this ready to go. All right. Quite the pile of bags starting to grow. All right. Bag 22 of 22. A lot of the bags in this set were quite small, especially at the start. But those also took a decent amount of time because the stickers just were very time consuming just with their placement. Definitely, yeah. Especially since in the last year or two, I've definitely grown my sealed collection of Lego sets. Yeah, I am definitely like, I have no clue where this thing's gonna go. At least I had a spot for Barad-dûr. I have no idea where this set is gonna go. It will go somewhere, I guess. I'll find a spot for it, but yeah, definitely with small stuff, I very much have to just cycle stuff out, and keep some of my favorite stuff on there. Like, I've had, I think my longest standing set probably on my shelves is probably the Black Pearl. That's been on there since I got it. It's moved a few places, but it's always been up, and it probably always will be. But yeah, I really have to cycle some stuff out. And with new summer sets, I will have to do that again. So I'll have to start taking some stuff down soon. had a issue with those, it seems like. Yeah, I have so many of them taken apart and a decent amount of them just put away in a bin that it would be, I think, better for me to just buy used or sealed ones and get a new copy of the set, because I really have no interest in trying to piece them together. I have all the minifigures all put away, but yeah. I think right now I'm currently putting together a collection of every single Toy Story set. It was going very well for the first little while, and then I've very much slowed down with it the last few months and just haven't bought anything for it. But I got my biggest one that I wanted for it, the Pizza Planet truck, but I don't know if there's a few Pirates of the Caribbean sets that I never had, that I'd like to get, but if I'm gonna get anything, I think I'd like to get Queen Anne's Revenge, and yeah, those Pirates of the Caribbean sets are amazing, one of the best Lego themes they've ever had, and I'd love to see an updated Black Pearl. That would be pretty cool. Just a one-off Lego icon set would be very cool. But I think right now the set that I am most, yeah, definitely. It's like, it felt feasible to me because the sets weren't terribly expensive, and it was sort of a small collection. Like, there's the train and the Pizza Planet truck that are the most expensive things, and then everything else is a little bit, it's really nothing that huge. But yeah, I quite like those Toy Story sets. But yeah, I'm definitely looking to finish off that collection at some point. And I guess I have also started buying a few sealed Star Wars sets that I really don't need to be buying, but did it anyways. I got a 2002 Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter a little while ago, and the 1999 Pod Racer, a few other 1999 sets, just a few smaller sets, but yeah. The set that I'm really anticipating, and like, I'm very much getting ahead of myself because there's no real super concrete information, but if the very grain of salt rumor of a Krusty Burger comes to pass, that is a set that I am so excited for. I am so incredibly excited for that set if it actually happens. And yeah, I am hoping it does. But I'd be really interested to see what they do with the heads, if they go back to the head molds they did for the 2 minifigure series and the 2 sets, or if they do its own thing more in line with the show's version of a Lego minifigure. But yeah. All right. Okay. I think that's that. Okay. So, last couple steps here. Finish off this wing. And then, that's that. Okay. That's definitely a bit of an issue. I went back and got all the minifigures from the minifigure series probably about a year or so ago now. But I definitely wish I had those two sets. And they're definitely ones that I'm sort of looking for. And if I can find them at a decent price, I might get them. But yeah, I'm really, if that Krusty Burger happens, I would be very, very much excited to see it, and I wouldn't mind a third minifigure series to go along with it. There's definitely a few characters that I really, really want to see in Lego minifigures, and yeah. What is this thing? What's the issue here? Just goes right in there, and I can't really see. Where am I? Alright, a bit of both then. Alright, where? Oh, I think I got it. There it is. It was just about getting it right in the right spot. If they do another minifigure series and don't include Sideshow Bob this time, I am, once again, it will be a double riot for both Padme and Bob. And that will be that. Alright, I think this is the last step. Alright. That looks... I think that's that. Alright. The TIE Interceptor. Could they not have got a less blurry image to put on the back of the instructions? Jeez. Alright, this is a thick instruction manual. Yeah. Yeah, the feet. Definitely, like, it would have to be a really weird minifigure, I guess. Not just the hair, it would also be the feet. Alright. I quite like this thing. I guess the biggest things is, like, the gaps around, like, here and down here, but, like, mostly, I think it looks pretty nice. I think this is, because this, when I ordered this, would have been the first round of the sets. I believe this is the original one that has the shiny display plate, where any new ones, I believe, have the matte finish so that they don't scratch up as easily. So I have no idea if maybe my sealed one has that or not. I'm definitely not going to open it up to see. Yeah, I guess this is the original run of the set. So, wow. But yeah, it was, I guess, it definitely wasn't the most fun build because it was very symmetrical. So every single one of these little wing connection bits were all the exact same build process. They were almost, actually they were. Every single one of them was identical. But the final product looks pretty cool. Pretty solid set. So that is that. Went over some summer Star Wars. Finished this thing. I guess a successful stream for Friday. So Next Friday's stream should be around the same time as this one. Hopefully, no issues this time, having to start it a second time. And it'll be the McLaren icon set. A couple. There were a couple in one wing. I think this top one right here had like two things, but yeah, not as many wall issues. So, but yeah, next week's Friday stream will be the McLaren icon set, which will just be in one stream. It's a smaller set, and yeah, maybe by then there'll be some rumors for what will come next year, but probably not at this point. But yeah, cool set. Definitely enjoyed putting it together, especially that TIE pilot minifigure. The arm printing on that figure is really cool. Yeah, so yeah, the stream should be around the same time tomorrow. And thanks for watching it. It was a good time. And yeah, bye.